Hey, how's it going? My name is Kovdak. I write articles and threads on all things crypto. I just started this YouTube channel with the goal of making crypto simple, and today we're going to be figuring out how you track whale wallets with Etherscan. Whales have a lot more information than us, so watching what they're doing and following what they're doing is a great way to trade and invest because they have way more information than most of us. There are a lot of ways to track and watch these whales, but in this one, we're going to be focusing on watching whales with Etherscan. Etherscan is a block explorer for the Ethereum blockchain, right? It's this search engine that helps you look up a lot of key information and on-chain activity. You can look up transfers, gas prices, search up addresses, tokens. There's a lot to do, and it's a great tool that gives you a great edge when you're investing to really understand what's happening with the blockchain. And the best part, it's completely free. There's a lot to do with it. You can search up an address and look at all the transactions, the holdings in the wallet, what they're buying and selling. You can investigate ERC20 tokens. So you just search it up and you get a lot of key information on the transfers, the holders, the supply, and even verify whether it's legitimate or not. You can check gas prices with Etherscan. You can look at the highs and the lows, and you can adjust your own gas price accordingly and can save a lot of money with it. A key feature that we're going to be using is the token feature. You can essentially search up any ERC20 token, or you can go here and look up the top ERC20 tokens, and you get a lot of key information on them. Up here, you can look up the max supply and the number of tokens, and even the contract address, so you can verify whether it's legitimate or not. Down here, you can view the transfers, so all the transfers that took place with this token. And you can also look up information on the holders, right? You can look at who's holding this token, how much of it, and you can even pull up this chart here to get a nice visual representation of the token holdings. This already tells you a lot, right? If the tokens are concentrated, it could mean bad things, because if those guys decide to sell, it's going to dump. If a lot of the token is sitting on exchanges, that could mean it's a bad thing, because people are either looking to sell or they're in for the short term and looking to dump quickly. When you're searching for good whale wallets to track, you're going to be looking for wallets that got into a token that blew up quickly and wallets that got in with big positions quickly, right? So essentially, wallets that got in big positions early. We're looking for those whales that got in early and have a history of success, because those are the guys you want to be watching and tracking. Let's see it in action and use Debank as an example. So you go to Etherscan and you search up Debank, right? And our goal right now is to find the wallets that got into Debank early and bought big positions of it. Click on transfers and sort by last. Now all you have to do is search through these transactions and find big buys early on. So I've been searching through these for a while now, and I found this one wallet that bought 175 Debank super early on and had multiple buys. That's interesting because big buys early on, right? So we're going to click on it and look closer. When you click on a wallet on Etherscan, it pulls up a lot of information on it, right? It shows you their current balance. It shows you all their transactions, all their buys. So it's a really great tool and a lot of useful information here. But it is a little overwhelming and there's a lot going on and the interface isn't the best. So we'll use another tool called Debank to help out with this. Debank is a portfolio tracker. It shows you all the assets held by a wallet. Put in any address here, and it'll pull up all the holdings across the different protocols and chains. But there are some caveats. Debank primarily shows you Ethereum and EVM compatible chains, so not all blockchains are going to be on Debank. And will split their holdings into multiple assets for security reasons. So you won't be getting all their holdings and all their assets and their complete net worth, but it still gives you a good indicator of what that one particular wallet has. Debank also ranks wallets based on the number of followers it has and how much their followers are worth. But essentially, it's a really cool way to identify wallets that have a following and are more legit than others. So I grabbed that address we found in Etherscan and I plugged it into Debank, and it pulled up this wallet over here. And looking at it, it's pretty good, right? It has some social proof. It's ranked 9,125, and you can look at all the wallet holdings and all the protocols where the owner of this wallet deposited assets. And to follow the wallet, you go back up and click on follow. Now this wallet's pretty good, but it's hard to say if it's the best wallet to follow or not. So let's repeat this process. We go back to Etherscan, sort by last, and then find big buys early on. Doing that, I found this other wallet that had 19,000 buys super early on. So I'm going to take this address and plug it into Debank like we did last time. It's looking pretty good on Debank with a ranking of about like 4,000. The thing with this method is you're primarily relying on Debank's social ranking, right? Which works sometimes and it doesn't work sometimes. It's a great starting point, but it isn't the best way to identify whether or not this wallet has a history of success. There's a more manual way to go about this, but it takes a lot more effort and time. Go back to Etherscan and find an address that had big buys early. Click on the address and you can see all the information about the wallet. You can see their buys, you can see their balance, and a lot more. Now we're gauging the history of success, whether this wallet succeeded in finding good tokens early. Click on ERC20 transfers. Here you can see all their buys, all their sells, and when they did it. Look through this, see what they bought, when they bought it, and whether they were right more often than they were wrong, and whether they had success in finding really good tokens early on. And if it did, this is a wallet you want to follow. But like I said, this takes a lot more work and it's a lot more manual and dirty. But it does provide a lot of value if you are able to identify the right wallets. The thing with these wallets is that the big ones that have buys are easier to spot, but that doesn't mean that smaller ones can't get in earlier. So if you're doing this manual method, it's also worth it to look at some smaller ones that got in early, because it's often the smaller ones that have more alpha and more insights than the larger ones, but it is more difficult to find them. And that's it. That's how you track whale wallets with Etherscan. That said, I do want to mention that copy trading whales isn't the best move, right? Watching whales and tracking whale wallets is one tool in your arsenal. If you rely just on it, you're probably going to get wrecked. And scammers know that people are tracking these wallets, so sometimes they just airdrop tokens and airdrop coins, and they might not have bought them. So make sure you remember that and don't blindly copy trade these whales. Besides, a lot of their strategy and their management is very different from your average investor. There's a lot of information to gather from them and take from them, but make it one part of your analysis. And that's it. I hope this was useful and informational. Let me know how it was. This is my first video, so would love some feedback, love some thoughts. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, subscribe and give it a like. Make sure you follow my Twitter for daily crypto content. It's at @CovDuck and it's in the description below. I know the audio and the visuals may not be the best yet, but we'll work through it. I appreciate your patience and thanks for watching.